How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. There is an all new type of investor that is coming to buy Bitcoin here very soon. It's super bullish. It's something that I've never talked about. I've never even really thought about it until today, at least not very deeply. And yet this is coming in the next 30 days. This will happen due to the spot Bitcoin ETF. And it's not someone that, is just unwilling to open up a Coinbase account. That's not the new class of investor. Seriously, you're going to want to stay through to this because this is crazy, and I've never thought about it. I actually saw another YouTube video from British Hodl. I want to give credit where credit is due. Crazy. I've never thought about this. But Bitcoin is about to get millions of new holders just from this aspect. Now, if you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video. I think this is like my 4th video here today. I actually have more videos with another YouTuber, Cryptos R Us, that I was gonna publish today, but I've just had too many things to talk about. So I'm gonna push those off to a different day. But I'm really excited to talk to you here today. Also, I just made a video talk about Caspa. We're actually getting it listed over on Margex. So if you don't know, I do have a link to Margex underneath the video. Soon you'll be able to trade Caspa. They just told me today. I had reached out to them and asked them if they'd add it, and they said yes. So next week or so, maybe end of this week, they're going to add Caspa on here. There's going to be a big announcement on that soon. Margex is an affiliate of the channel, so I do appreciate if you use that link. They're really cool because you can use different kinds of collateral for different trades. So if you wanted more XRP, but you wanted to trade on Bitcoin, you realize that Bitcoin doesn't wick you out as much, or you just like the technicals, there's more volume, so it's easier to tell where it's going to go. You could use XRP for collateral and get more XRP from this and trade Bitcoin. They also have a bunch of other coins. They have a deposit bonus that covers some of the fees with the link underneath the video. So there's so much that you can do here. There's also a link to Blofin underneath the video as well. I really like Blofin and Margex. I think you should have more than one place set up to leverage trade and to trade or to buy in general. You should have multiple wallets set up. You should have multiple exchanges set up because in high volume times, sometimes exchanges go down and you want to have access to the market. Now, Bitcoin has done extremely well over the last couple months. Obviously, you probably know that if you're watching the channel. Honestly, it could have a slight pullback at any time. It could also pump 10, 20%, and I would not be surprised in either scenario. If we fell back down to 40 or 42,000, honestly, I think that'd be healthy for the long term of Bitcoin and the medium term as well. We've made such big moves. There's so much excitement in the market. It would be healthy to see a bit of a pullback. I'm just giving you that disclaimer right now. Now, do I think that's likely? I honestly don't know. I have some long-term positions open on leverage. I also have a lot of spot crypto. Like the majority of my portfolio is just spot Bitcoin specifically. I have a couple other cryptos too, but Bitcoin, it's so great for the long term in my mind. And something that I never thought about is something that just was brought to my attention. British Hodl made a video talking about how there are going to be new investors in Bitcoin here very soon. The reason for that is right now, a lot of people don't like assets that don't cash flow. Like there are just a huge number of investors that, like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, that didn't like Bitcoin because it has no inherent cash flows. Like it doesn't pay you a dividend. It doesn't have profits. It doesn't pay you any rent. Right now, real estate makes up 2/3 of global real assets and net worth. So the majority of wealth on earth is coming from real estate. A lot of that is investment properties, complexes, all kinds of different cash flowing assets in real estate. A lot of investors also, even if they're not investing in property, if they're not investing in units, real estate, investment properties, a lot of them buy, let's say, cash flowing assets like dividend payers, right? They want something that will pay them back every single month. Then there's like a smaller asset, or there's a smaller class of investors that are options traders. They actually write covered calls or write puts or whatever that you want to do that get paid to hold non-cash flowing assets, such as Tesla, Google. You can write a covered call, which if you don't know what those are, I would go check it out. They're actually super interesting. I've done in the past. It's a really cool way of making some cash flow. And with the spot Bitcoin ETF, not only are there going to be people putting in retirement accounts, not only are there going to be people that just never could buy crypto before because they couldn't set up an account, they didn't trust themselves to buy crypto or to go onto Coinbase or something like that, or to self-custody. Not only are there going to be new institutional investors too that just didn't have the ability from a regulatory standpoint. They couldn't buy Bitcoin. There's too much risk to custody it themselves, or without more SEC approval, they couldn't get into it. It's not an institutional asset. I'm taking out all those investors. I'm saying there are going to be investors now that want cash flow, that have access to the Bitcoin spot ETFs, that now will invest in Bitcoin for the first time ever because it's appreciated really well and it will pay high amounts of cash flow. It's very volatile. Some of the best pairs are volatile assets like Tesla. You can make 30, 50% a year, even more, writing covered calls. Now, of course, you do limit some of your upside, but these are the investors that are never going to have bought Bitcoin before. They're going to put a percentage of their portfolio in Bitcoin. There are a lot of really wealthy individuals that do this, that write covered calls. It makes sense, right? There are people willing to take money out of the market just to get 5%, let's say a 5% yield on treasuries or on their savings account. The fact is you can have some upside potential, a lot more upside potential from owning assets like Tesla, Google, even Bitcoin ETF, and then writing covered calls, and you get constant cash flow anyways. Now, of course, there's a little bit more risk than just holding treasuries, but there's so much more upside. So there are going to be a lot of wealthy individuals that go buy it. And of course, they could do that with, let's say, MicroStrategy or CleanSpark, crypto-related companies now, but there's no pure form Bitcoin company, or there's no pure form Bitcoin right now. And someone would be much more willing to do that. Institutions would be a lot more willing to do that with a Bitcoin spot ETF than they would MicroStrategy or something even smaller like CleanSpark. Like, it's really hard to write calls or to do options trading with some of these smaller companies. So there will be new people that have never invested that are now going to buy and take that Bitcoin off the market, which will cause the price to go up. It's really interesting. I mean, of course, there are ways to get yield. There were ways to get yield. A lot of people signed up for exchanges that paid yield. Now, that is totally different. That's much more risky than something like this, which will be a lot safer. So something to consider. Now, there are also new people coming into crypto because Coinbase just announced this. Send money anywhere. You can send a link. Instant, easily, for free. This is going to bring a lot of people into crypto as well. You can just send a link and then they can accept some crypto price, set up a wallet. I think that's pretty cool news. And then famed auction house Sotheby's, I never know how to pronounce that. Let me know in the comments. Is going to auction off their first Bitcoin ordinals collection. So institutional adoption's happening, and the art world is now adopting cryptocurrency as well. Now, of course, I think basically if they can make some money, they'll do it. But let me know your thoughts underneath the video. Again, you can check out the link to Margex and also to Blofin. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video as well. Do you think that this is big? I think this is really big for cryptocurrency. Again, special shout out to British Hodl. That's awesome. He made a video on this. I'll probably do follow-up videos on this and go through maybe how much you could make from this. Of course, always do your own due diligence. I'm not telling you to do anything. You have to do your own research. And I'm not telling you to go try to get cash flow yourself. You might miss out on some of the upside appreciation. The people that are really in cryptocurrency, that have been around for a long time, the Bitcoin OGs, or just really bullish people in general would say don't do that. Like that, you could lose out on huge gains, which is something I believe as well. Like, I don't plan on ever doing this. Now, maybe 5-10 years down the line, if Bitcoin's at $1 million, maybe I want to take 5% of my Bitcoin and go sell some covered calls on it. Make 10 grand a month or something like that. It's possible. So let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.